Retro Racing reports from Balboa Stadium out of San Diego, California. This is the second night of the racing season of 1946. So it's June the 5th, 1946. As it happens, I've just recently picked up complete sets of the racing programs from 46, 47, and 48. A lot of the results are in there. I'm not sure how totally complete the group is, but there it goes. I also managed to get a load of scrapbooks that have lots of pictures from there, so we'll be putting in some additional pictures along the way and probably combining a few of the programs. The programs that I see for each season are the same program, so you get the same cover each time, but the interior is slightly different. A lot of local advertising, and there's no reference to who writes the articles inside. It goes under the title of the checkered flag. So that's where we are. So it's Retro Racing Reports from Balboa Stadium, San Diego. This is from the June 5th, 1946 event at Balboa Stadium, which is no longer there. The checkered flag. Certainly last week's opener was one of the most impressive sights ever witnessed in San Diego. It was by far the largest sporting event ever in the history of the city, and it makes us proud that we are affiliated with the sport, a small, integral part of its success. Over a period of years, we have seen many sports come and go in San Diego. The Washington Redskins usually draw pretty fair crowds, and the Elks' annual football charity game draws well also. But last Thursday night's inaugural surpassed them all. It was terrific, and on behalf of the management and contestants, we wish to thank you fans for making it possible. We hope that you will make Wednesday night a weekly affair here at Balboa Stadium, and in turn, we'll do everything in our power to make every meet a top-notch affair, such as you witnessed last week. It isn't often you read a plug in this column, but we feel it only fitting to mention that were it not for Dee Dee's welding equipment being on hand in the pits, Walt Faulkner never could have started last week's feature. Mr. Dee Dee donates his services absolutely free of charge to the drivers and car owners every week, and it's only right, therefore, that we should tell you about him and ask you to patronize his shop in National City. Tonight, Frank Brewer goes to the firing line against a rugged field. Frank viewed last week's show from the pits. He had just been released from a northern hospital and had specific orders from physicians not to drive. As per usual, Frank will be driving the number 99 tonight. He has long been identified with the numeral, it being his first number when he arrived from the shores of New Zealand back in 1939. Last week, you saw a new type of racing program never before witnessed here. The management feels that the handicapping of faster cars to the rear makes for better racing all around. Certainly, you'll agree that the new order gives every driver a chance at a win, where heretofore the faster cars would start out front and it was pretty much a cut and dried proposition. One fan last week inquired why it was that the feature was only going for 30 laps. We were glad to inform him, and might as well pass it on to you, that ever since auto racing ban was lifted at the close of the war, rubber has not been forthcoming. Some car owners actually find it impossible to compete for lack of tires. These drivers you see here run other tracks, and in order to conserve rubber, it's necessary to cut a little bit in the laps. Of last week's main event, you noted that it was possible for a car which started dead last to pass the other 11 contenders within 30 laps. You can rest assured that the fast boys will have to push, since in order to win, they'll have just 30 laps to turn the trick. In past years, we've set the feature at 40 laps. In the East and Midwest, fans don't like the longer races, and as a result, feature races are nearly always set at 20 or 25 laps. Actually, we feel you'll be seeing closer races over the 30-lap route. At the present time, there are 7 tracks operating between here and Sacramento. They are Fresno, San Jose, Sacramento, Bakersfield, Saugus, Gilmore Speedway in Hollywood, and San Diego. Due to open in the near future are Stockton, Burbank, Los Angeles Coliseum, and possibly Culver City. It's been estimated that the drivers will be running for purses totaling close to $50,000 each and every week. We trust you have purchased a copy of the Pacific Coast Speedway News. It's published right here in San Diego, and it goes all over the Pacific Coast. It is a news service which is extremely helpful to the fans since it gives results of all other tracks. Also, some interesting columns on the inside of the Midget racing picture, plus plenty of pictures. In order to avoid long lines at the ticket window, might we suggest you pick up your tickets each week at the Thorough Music Company on Broadway. Seats at the starting line sell for just $1.50. So there you go. That's the article from the Checkered Flag from June 5th, 1946. Be sure to like and subscribe. Put your comments down below. If you want to know more about San Diego in particular, let me know. We have new scrapbooks with lots of images.